Yeah, here we are doing the cruise. Oh, well, that's the. That's like. Is that supposed to be? Yeah. Yeah. And that is where that one dude lived. That's a weird version of it. Looks younger if it was. Not weird, but I'm saying whole different. I try not to look. Looked like the person I saw when I typed in Jeff Green. I saw that on Google search. That looked like that person. Even a little different than that, but similar like that. Yeah. See, she'd get in the mail sometimes would come here by mistake, and you'd get it from the Billy Goat here at 23327. Whatchamajigger there. Susanna. No, that's not meaning. That's not down talk. When you don't know someone's name, he has that Billy Goat kind of look to him. The goatee thing or the beard little, that type of thing. When I make up names, it's not necessarily I don't say it to them or I don't say it in a bad. Yeah, that's stupid. That's how I remember people. That's how I came up with the name Jeff. That's how Cameron Crowe came up with the name Jeff Spicoli on me. So my hair was always greasy. And so back then you'd say a greasy haired dude is kind of like a spick, Spicoli. Mr. Hand, he called Mr. Hand because Mr. Hand talked with his hand a lot. He was like this. He was like, Cass, And that's why I nicknamed him Mr. Hand. His real name was Mr. Porter. He was an English teacher. Everyone thinks the real Mr. Hand was a guy named Mr. Roy that taught history, because in the movie, Mr. Hand was a history teacher. He wasn't. He was actually a guy named Mr. Porter, and he taught English. I'm the only one on Earth, on any Earth, that knows that. This is a good one. This Miramar? No, it's Miradores. Man, those mountains are humongo. I wouldn't think. She doesn't look like the type. She looks pretty friendly, like, you know what I mean? Like a good version, if anything. No? Why? That one? Why? Yeah. Really is? Yeah, I turned my camera the other way. I didn't want to be like I'm stalking it. No, it's not the purpose. I just like to. But that car in the driveway was like Tom's 300. Same type. That's what Tom would drive. That guy's not Tom. Tom's 6'11". You know him. Looks a little too young to be her. Yeah. I think those things are kind of staged. Yeah. They looked like those people on the lawn that day on that other Shady Croft in Redondo. See, this earth looks a little bowed. See how it looks bubbled up there? The water looks a little higher up and like bowed. Puffed up, you see? That's what I've noticed. Even when I'm driving down PCH and I look down towards Hermosa, the water looks kind of higher than, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is the way I like to go down Miramar. Calimero to Miramar, straight down. That brings you right to Torrance Beach. I might have took Calimero this time instead of Miramar, but I like taking Miramar. This one I took. The sea breeze here. So no, the version I saw, the Jack Dick's Sporting Goods. Yeah, this is Miramar one. Yeah, but it turns into that. But I saw Dick's Sporting Goods. Probably December of 2020, I believe it was. She looked just like Kathy, but maybe a little younger and tighter face and bugged out eyes. And I saw her from behind. I thought, is that Kathy? I looked from behind. She didn't see me. And I'm thinking, wow, it is. It's like a different version of her. I stripped out. Hair was cut straight on the back across. Same hair and everything, but a bit longer. And what's out there. And well, so I threw them. Had my back to them. She's with a guy. I had my back to them, and I was looking through some clothes. And I turned around, and she was fully turned around, just staring at me like she saw a ghost. Like she's looking at me like I was looking at her, like thinking, "Wow, that's Jeff?" But it's not Jeff. You know what I mean? I swear to you. And if she wasn't with the guy, I would have talked to her. You know. Well, look, I've seen Kathy since I moved out of there. We went to a movie once because that's before I knew all this stuff or believed any of this stuff that I'm hearing. And I started hearing more of it. I'm thinking maybe she is some type of. No, I knew she was nutty and mean to me, but it's like. But if I saw her, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I'm gonna get. I'm not like that. I just avoid people. But I've called her lately. I called her a few weeks ago. I call her every now and then to ask. Last 3 times I called before that, I called asking about JC and stuff, and where's my passport, and where's my birth certificate, JC's birth certificate, and Melissa Myers' death certificate, and all that. Oh no! And sometimes she get mad. One time she said, "Oh no, okay, I love you," she said. I was kind of surprised with that. Okay, bye. And even when we were together, she wouldn't talk like that to me. So maybe it was a different one version of her, you know? No, I never said that. No, I mean, look, when people are lashing out at me on this network with pain, inflicting pain upon me, and subliminally attacking me with messages about horror stories about my kids, a person is, and all you have is words to lash out with, and they're inside your head. You're not even saying it out loud. You're not even on a telephone. You're talking through software that they installed in you to harass you and terrorize you with. Yeah, you can say some mean things, That's how it is. Doesn't mean it's literal. A few minutes later, I feel much better about it. I get over things pretty quick. There's the 220 Avenue H, the wreath on the door there. Looks like the factory's had one a long time there. And up top, on the top left, that's where Darren Lindgren lives. I've met a few different versions of him there. And this is a different looking Holiday Riviera than a lot of them. The vents there in the front are taller, and one of them was the vents were lower and kind of like they were when I was a kid here. They were lower and kind of below ground level. Yeah. I know this place from when I was a kid. And some of them, the entrance is even wider than that. And I managed that place back there for 17 years. This was the Tiffany Terrace here. There's a swimming pool in there. My friend Steve Copley's girlfriend lived in there. Yeah, he's a Nob Hill volleyball guy. I wonder if he is here still. He moved to Big Bear, I believe, something like that. The 1010. The 1010. And here's Vince Neil's pad, where he used to live when he crashed the Pantera right around here. So my roommate sold him the Pantera. He hit my girlfriend in that Pantera on this one out here, my old girlfriend Lisa, and it's the Delphi. Vince Neil's Shout at the Devil. See, there's no devil. If there was, I'd shout at him. It's kids stuff. You know, in high school, so yeah, Motley Crue, Black Sabbath. Never really took it literal. Even these bands, young bands doing that stuff, they weren't devil worshippers. They used it for a gimmick, you know what I mean? They didn't sit around chanting to the devil and so forth. The Esplanade. And that's where Dana Worsley, his dad, lived. And then he bought a yacht in the harbor, King Harbor, right next to Jack Russell's. And him and Jack Russell used to hang out, party down, you know. The all-night rock and roll club. You know, rock me, hold me through the night. All night, man, you know. His songs are real, Jack Russell. He's not joking. I mean, it's like the original. You can't even find it on Amazon Music. You know, I like that song. You can't find this old Great White song. Down on your knees, down on your knees, down on your knees. It's a catchy song. Now, what do you know? Like, what kind of music? Country type? People are trying to get me to say they like country. Like I know Cheryl when she got, what kind of music? Yeah, I listen to a little country. Like I'm gonna say, oh yeah, me too. Really? I hate fucking country. Country sucks. That's for the weak mind. Well, I'm not putting country people down, but let's face it, it's pretty honky-tonk bullshit. It's easily grasped by the simple. It's for the simple-minded folk, you know. And rock and roll is a little more comprehensive. Judas Priest and stuff. You got a lot of dynamics going on, and it stimulates the brain a bit more, you know. And let's put it this way: country music. What are you going to write about? The horses, Betty Lou, and the bar, and that type of thing. It's cowboy stuff. Rock and roll goes into the future, back into the past. You talk about, Stained Class album, Invader, and all those songs, on that album are way like futuristic. And then you could also go back to the Knights in Shining Armor with heavy metal, you know what I mean? You cover any era, modern day cowboy and all that Tesla. I mean, you got a lot of different things you could cover with rock and roll. With country music, let's face it, you're going to be talking about cowboys and we're all around. It's very simple music that's easily grasped by a mind, and a lot of people's minds are rock and roll. There's too much going on, and they can't absorb it. It gets them frustrated. It's like, turn this off. I can't. The simple stuff. Some stuff that's a little more simple with chords and stuff like AC/DC. I can handle, because it's done in a different way. But, and a lot of rock and roll is done with simple chords, but you got the leads, and you got drums that are all over the place, and the chords that are hit in a different way, amplify through a different way too, sound different. So like I said, there's a lot of people say, oh, I could play any Judas Priest song. That's just easy chords. You can play a lot of those songs, but you sound nothing like them. And you sound like shit because you don't know how to hold the strings or sustain the note. And there's a reason these people do good and they're professional artists, because when you feel it and you hit certain chords a certain way, it comes out that way. You see. But if you're just a guy who says, I know those chords, I can play that. Any people that say that, They play that stuff, and it always sucks. It sounds kind of like it, but it just doesn't cut it. You'll see cover bands, and you think, wow, they suck. You know what I mean? Because they can't play it right. They're not hitting it right. So, let's see if I can grab one over here.